the railroad as the bearer of culture in Turkey. Referring sympathetically to the Armenians, he concluded, "These are our so-called sheep wagons, in which 880 persons are transported in 10 wagons." The Germans built the railway as a strategic lifeline to the Middle East. The Turks were now using it to transport people to their death.
I'm an eyewitness. I saw it. People don't believe it. But out of a family of 7, only my mother and I survived.
I was born in Bandırma, near the site of old Troy. They said, the soldiers told us, the Turkish soldiers, that it was for our safety to move us. Well, they went street by street, and they came and locked our doors and sealed it and took the key away with them. And they put us in boxcars. The train took us as far as Afyonkarahisar. From there again, they put us on the train and we went all the way somewhere near Konya in the interior of Turkey. There were many, many exiles from different cities of Turkey. We had to walk after that. I saw with my own eyes a poor neighbor of ours from Bandırma. She couldn't walk anymore, and they took hold of her and threw her into the burning fire. And my father's first cousin, Der Hagopian, lost his mind in front of us.
As the deportations and massacres continued, the Turks tried to convince the German ally that the Armenians were rebels. In the spring of 1915, Max von Scheubner-Richter served as German consul in the city of Erzurum. Between May 15th and 20th, he told German Ambassador Wagenheim that the Turkish charges against the Armenians were untrue.
All house searches ended without finding any incriminating evidence. No bombs or anything like bombs could be found.
Scheubner-Richter refuted official Turkish and German propaganda that the Armenians were rebels. When he provided bread to the Armenian refugees and tried to protect them, General von Schellendorf objected. Fearing for his life, Richter later started to carry an extra revolver. Wagenheim ordered a response. The Armenians had started the trouble, he said. The Ottoman government was merely protecting them. This argument, Gedankengang, was to be the new official German line on the massacres.
Thus, it was the German government who initiated the denial of the Armenian Genocide and formulated the major denialist argument which is promoted up to our days. Germany had an interest in the Ottoman denial of the Armenian Genocide because any disinformation would also diminish the question of German responsibility and participation in the crime.
On July 16th, Wagenheim required that reports be produced showing that Germany was not responsible in any way for the massacre of Armenians. At the Berlin Foreign Office, State Undersecretary Arthur Zimmermann went a step further. He ordered the fabrication of reports that would show the Armenians were treasonable and guilty.
The German government chose to manipulate its own record deliberately. Not only were the consuls stopped from intervening on behalf of Armenians, now they were asked to denounce the victims.
The Ottoman program was centrally coordinated. Timetables kept the trains running on schedule, moving thousands of Armenians to their death. The Turks told their German ally that the deportations were temporary, applied only to Armenians in the war zones. Walter Rossler, the German consul in Aleppo, did not believe them.
I find no words to describe the depths of this untruth.
Rossler had in fact sent numerous reports about Armenians being murdered by the Turks, but his superiors ignored his recommendations. On August 26, 1915, Talat again demanded from each district the number of Armenians being banished. When did they leave? How many? What percentage of the total population did these constitute? The Germans, meanwhile, were rushing to complete the railway to stop the British advance into the Middle East. As the World War raged, German and Turkish interests were diverging. The Germans wanted to move military equipment to the war zone. The Turks wanted to transport Armenians from western Turkey by rail toward their death. At the same time, in the eastern provinces, the Turks were herding Armenians into caravans. Thousands of towns and villages were emptied of Armenians. The columns of Armenians on foot and by rail met at the Taurus Mountains. Many were forced to build the railroad. Their labor would hasten the trains moving their compatriots to extinction.
En route, a German commander with 2 Turkish assistants made us stop. He said, "All of you have to come and work on this road." We said that we could not do it. We were city folk. We were not villagers able to work. It's impossible. So he beat many people with his cane. He hit my mother with a cane. She almost lost consciousness.
Stories of German complicity and responsibility in the Armenian Genocide circulated among both Turks and Armenians.
A German officer with Turkish soldiers under his command killed people. He had the approval of the Turks. He led